You know, a lot of people gave me shit for placing this film on a pedestal when it first came out. I've been holding on to that shit for quite some time, and well, I've decided it's time to give that shit back, get it off my chest, speak my piece, and spoon feed it to those individuals myself. Because I stood behind my belief then, and I stand by it now when I say that The Suicide Squad 2021 was the best and biggest surprise film to come out of that year. And seeing as how that year we got films like Space Jam Legacy, Black Widow, The Matrix Resurrections, Fast and the Furious God knows what fucking number, and Venom 2. With the exception of Dune, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Free Guy, I'd say you don't have much else to argue with against me, my fellow consumer. I mean, damn, man, I'm not even embarrassed to say that I've sat through that film a total of 8 times, 2 of which were actually back-to-back. I can't say that I've done that a lot in the past for any film, really. Well, come to think of it now, it might have been an irradiated concoction that was developing in my system from a combination of carbon monoxide and black mold I was breathing in due to the deplorable living situations I was in at the time. But hey, I'm still alive, for now. Now, it's simple to say that DC can handle a franchise if it revolves around just a single character like the Joker, because clearly they actually understand the intricacies and they took enough care to make that movie as good as it was and accurately portray the villain at his best. Either that or Todd Phillips is the new Jon Favreau of the DC universe. The real question moving forward is, can they recreate the magic and handle an ensemble of characters as beautifully as they did back in 2021 like they did with the Suicide Squad? Because every single film in the past that we've gotten from them that had a large ensemble of cast was as good as a steaming pile of shit in the Sahara Desert. Because when you put it up against films like the Justice League and even the Snyder Cut, you can see the clear differences that they didn't understand which direction they were taking the films. I will admit the Snyder Cut was a much better film than its predecessor. Now, if there's anyone in the filmmaking world that believes in second chances, or at least giving themselves second chances, it's DC. Because they've given themselves more second chances than Hollywood's given Robert Downey Jr., Roseanne, Mel Gibson, Martha Stewart, Macaulay Culkin, and Amanda Bynes combined. Just like Hollywood thought about these fine people. I really think DC has something special here. So as far as second chances go, the more the merrier. Take as long as you need, DC. I trust you'll get it right eventually. I think DC might be the only shameless company that decides second chances are for everyone, hence them giving themselves second chances on multiple films. So it does seem that DC is learning from their mistakes. Giving themselves a second chance was the best thing they could have done for themselves. It definitely rebuilt my trust in them, that's for sure. I'm actually looking forward to see what DC comes out with next. And I'm all on board to see what the James Gunn universe has to offer in his so-called next 5-year plan. That is, of course, if they heed to the fans and they understand that their franchise is not geared towards children. It's a little more dark, geared toward adults. I think they're understanding that with the whole Titans and Doom Patrol. While I wouldn't call those the greatest series ever, they're definitely mature rated series and for a mature audience, and that's what I like to see. DC Comics just has darker characters within them. It's more of a dark world revolving around a mature thematic undertone. Now, I know I'm probably going to get even more shit than I got in real life about thinking that The Suicide Squad is one of the greatest films to come out that year, but I'm just going to keep digging a hole for myself because I love this film. While The Suicide Squad had its minor flaws, like all masterpieces do, it accurately encapsulated the delectable balance between cynicism and grittiness it was attempting to convey. And James Gunn, you son of a bitch, you did it. Because any director that's trying to take an element they had a vision with, that started with on a screenplay, and they attempt to translate that to film, it doesn't always work out for them. But I will admit, James Gunn displayed it beautifully here. While each character may not have been all that complex, they still had their character arcs they went through, along with some type of growth. As a writer, I absolutely love that. I'm always striving to develop the best, most believable and original way my character can go through their arcs throughout their journey. And in writing, a key component to storytelling is no doubt its characters. And without a real solid, believable foundation and history the character comes from, you have nothing but surface level characters, dialogue, and with that only, you won't be able to tell much of an original, compelling story. The point I'm getting at is that in this film, every main and supporting character gets their opportunity to grow. Not only that, but it's interwoven with the plot and climax of it, making for some extraordinarily cohesive storytelling. Most of the jokes landed for the most part, and the dialogue wasn't really too bad at all. There wasn't a whole lot of cliche to the dialogue, and I didn't really feel a lot of cringe to it either. Each of the characters felt like they were individuals of their own. Every character that spoke, their dialogue that they spoke was true to their character, and that's a sign of a skilled writer. My 2 favorite characters were probably the same as yours. Nanawe the Shark, who's played by the one and only Italian Stallion himself, which by the way did an excellent fucking job, and Polka Dot Man, played by the severely underrated David Dastmalchian. I'm so sorry, David, if I pronounced that incorrectly. That man is a legend in my eyes. Ever since I first saw him in The Dark Knight, and he plays that psycho character that Two-Face has a run-in with in the ambulance, ever since I saw him in that scene, I recognized the talent immediately, and I've been following his career since then. And this role was perfect for him. He nailed it. The rivalry between Bloodsport and Peacemaker is done really well and made for some hilariously gory and creative scenes. Idris Elba and John Cena really shined in their respective roles, and they pretty much stole the show as a dynamic duo of sorts. We're just gonna breeze right over Harley Quinn because I'm only covering the good parts of the this film. I did have an issue with Nanaue disappearing after he just took one bite out of the starfish, and we just didn't see him after that until the end of the movie. I would have liked to see a little more of Nanaue too, and he had a very interesting character arc. That just goes to show you that you don't need a whole lot of dialogue to portray an emotion. I think they captured it beautifully here. Now, as far as DC goes, between the pulling of the plug on an already spent $90 million Batgirl film and its final stages of production ready to release, this new Suicide Squad film, and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie, I felt I could really place my trust back in the hands of DC, assuming they realize what's right for them. And what's right for them is making the majority of their theatrical releases rated R. Keep it mature. If DC continues to listen to their fans, they will rise above Marvel. Now that we've seen a true chink in Marvel's defense and they're slowly falling apart, losing their fan base day by day from the decisions they make, DC could really take this opportunity and shine, winning all those fans over again after seeing what Marvel has done to us. DC is a much more mature and darker universe than the dainty, vibrant, happy-go-lucky Mickey Mouse Club that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, DC is dark, mature, gritty, and harsh. For fuck's sake, Batman is one of the more complex characters. I think no one will ever get tired of seeing Batman. Superman maybe because he's kind of a Mary Sue. But Batman, people will never get tired of seeing Batman. Overall, I think DC could really shine above Marvel, especially at a time like this, where the Great Wall of Marvel and Disney is slowly breaking away as they alienate their fans one by one, day by day. I think if DC plays their cards right and they continue to listen to their fans and honor their franchises and their characters and deliver to us the mature thematic undertones of storytelling that we so desire as a mature DC audience, then I think DC, you'll be just fine in the end. But until then, keep getting your shit together. I'm behind you. Alright, well the video's over. So, until next time I guess. Bye for now.